Hi guys, welcome back to the workshop. I've just got a quick little update for you guys today, and let's get right into it. So the first thing I want to announce is the winner of the Rivet guess that I posted on my last video. The rules were Price is Right rules, and you guys had some pretty crazy extremes. We had some on the very low end, and we had some on the very high end, way high end. The exact number of rivets is 11,782 rivets, and that includes the larger ones, the little fasteners. Just want to get you guys an idea of how many of those little things are on the entire airplane. So therefore, according to today, the winner is Adrian Chupp. So congratulations, Adrian. I have a Sky Hunter ready for you. I sent you a message on your YouTube account, so go ahead and email me back, joshuaorchard@gmail.com. And that goes for anyone else. If you have any questions for me, go ahead and shoot me an email, and I'd be happy to address them. So what have I been up to? Quite a bit, actually. I've been, doing my thing and going to events and posting on Instagram. For those who are following me on Instagram, thank you very much. And you have a very good clue of what I've been up to. I've been able to go to some local flying fields, including my own, and fly the P47. Now, the P47, I've tried to fly it at my home field, and I'll insert a little clip here. So this is just a testament of what you can expect. Sometimes I always say I'm a fair flyer. I am not a good flyer, which is why I'm trying to get better using the aerobatic Sukhoi Su25. But suffice it to say, what happened in that video is I'm so used to my field, it changes from season to season, and you can see that the trees down below are full of foliage. And that tree is what we affectionately call the plane-eating tree, for good reason. Just the weekend prior to that, I had been flying my Goldberg Eagle 2 and filtered it right through that tree because there's no foliage on it. I didn't see it in my peripheral vision. You'd think I would know it was there, but again, things happen. So the only damage was a couple of dents on the leading edge of the wing, some minor stuff, nothing structural. The landing was just fine. And I've flown it again since then, and I was able to just fully recover from that experience. So dumb things happen. Speaking of dumb things happening, I took the P47 down to Laurel, Maryland. They were hosting an event they call Airplanes of the World 15. It's a wonderful event. I haven't been out to it in a number of years. I think it's 4 years now. They have airplanes of all sorts of varieties and some beautiful models, some foamies, just really good people at that club field. I was able to catch up with my buddy Gary and Bill, and I just love these guys, and it was a great event. It was a bit windy to fly the P47, but she got lots of attention, had a lot of fun, met some new people, talked shop a lot, met a wonderful young man who is an aircraft mechanic, and his wife, and it's just great to talk with them. It's a great experience. So get out to your local flying field and see what new friends you can make. So one little story about Airplanes of the World I have to include. So speaking of being dumb, so I brought the Sukhoi as well to fly, and I went up to the flight line, and I had my battery leads connect. So I'm flying on two 3S packs, and I wired them in series to make 6S. I'm using bullet connectors on them. So I got up to the flight line, and I go to plug in the airplane to arm it and be safe and all. I end up plugging the battery into itself rather than the airplane. First time I've ever done that, guys. Honestly, it was a crazy experience. I had a complete meltdown of the bullet connector. It just fizzled, and I left the batteries out for the remainder of the day to make sure they didn't explode. They seemed fine. I did an internal resistance check, and everything seems fine. I've replaced the bullet connectors, and they're good to go. So let that be a lesson. Make sure you are always, never let your guard down. Always make sure that when you're connecting your batteries that you're being a little bit more safe than you should. So the other thing I've been up to is this bad boy. This is a F16. It's pretty big, but kind of small. I had actually wanted to build this model before I started the P47 project, but the P47 project came along and it got shelved on the back burner. This F16 is designed by my friend Ben Harbor, and let me tell you, it was a quick build. And it was even quick by my standards, where I try to go all out. What I have done is I've removed all of the paper from the flight test foam board, which is basically the same as any old dollar store foam board that you get at the dollar store, Dollar Tree, Dollar General, whatever. But I pulled it all off and I put fiberglass down using water-based polyurethane. The reason I wanted to do this was, I love the flight test designs. They're such easy airplanes to fly, but they just don't last in my climate. The humidity gets so high that the paper delaminates after just a couple of flights. And I really wanted to make this one last a little while, so I thought, I'll go through the effort and extreme to fiberglass it. I've even fiberglassed the bottom with some pretty heavy-duty glass because it's a belly lander. So I'm looking forward to flying this at Flight Fest with Ben, and I'll have a flight report for you on this as well. So in addition to all of these shenanigans, I am preparing for Flight Fest. I've been doing little things here and there, making sure all my camping gear is ready to go. I've purchased a new table so that I can have a place to put things. The table I've been using in years past is kind of old and ratty, and when it gets wet it's not favorable. So this one is nice, and I've drilled holes in it to stake it down so it doesn't blow over. I've been doing little things here and there. In addition to that, I've been making sure that my models are ready, deciding which models I'm going to bring, making my checklist, making sure that I've got everything that I want there, and making sure that I'm able to help other people as well. So bringing additional tools, supplies, glues, tapes, etc., making sure that I can contribute to the community there, because it's such a wonderful group of people that are constantly building and fixing and crashing and just having a great time. The other thing that I'm doing at Flight Fest is I'm again doing the flight line safety coordination red shirt guy. And one of the things that we took away from last year, Carl and I both agreed that we have a lot of new people that come to Flight Fest, and they don't necessarily feel entirely comfortable flying in such a large venue with so many people, and that's okay. We try to encourage and help, but it can be pretty chaotic. And one of the things that I've taken upon myself to contribute to mitigate that is some signs. And these are flight line signs. And because new people don't necessarily know what a pattern is, these are just designed to help people understand, okay, we want you to take off and land in this direction so that everybody remains safe. Not everybody knows that you're supposed to take off and land into the wind, or if there's a crosswind, which way is safest to do, because it could go into the crowd, etc. So again, just one more thing that I can contribute. This is just Coroplast from the Home Depot. These are some stakes from the Home Depot. And I used my vinyl cutter here at home to try to match my wife. Shout out to her for looking at the flight test font and matching it. She's got a good eye for that because she's a graphic designer. But was able to cut these out. I've prepped 6 of these stakes, so if we have 3 flight lines again, which I'm assuming we will, I'll be able to have 2 of these on each flight line so that everybody can see them, and we can all fly a little bit safer. So before I go and make all of my final Flight Fest preparations, I want you to know that there are still opportunities for you to sign up and volunteer at Flight Fest. We love to say that the greeters at the front gate and the parking crew, they do a phenomenal job of trying to keep things organized, and they really are the face of Flight Fest and Flight Test. And they do such a wonderful job of greeting you and making sure you feel welcome, that you know where to go. and you can get yourself all set up for a wonderful event. At the flight line, we like to believe that we are the heart of the event because we all come there to fly, and we absolutely need more volunteers. The more the merrier, to help integrate people into the event, help them make new friends. If they don't have a spotter, make sure they have a spotter, and that spotter can be a new friend. I've heard so many wonderful stories. My good friend Lee Ray, when I went to Flight Fest at Texas, his son met up with a young man and they became fast friends over the course of the event. They were inseparable. And this is just one of many stories like that. So go ahead and please, please, if you feel you can, please volunteer to help out at the flight line. We'll all make this a fantastic event. We'll all have some fun. You'll be able to see some fantastic families, some fantastic builds, and I too, when I'm there, that's exactly what I do. I make sure that I tell the mothers thank you for coming to the event, supporting their children, and it's just a great time. So one thing before I go, I am absolutely excited. I am ecstatic to go there and see all of your flying works of art.